Hi, how y'all doing today? November the 1st, no, 2nd. What is the date today? The 2nd of November 2025. Here in Ontario, Canada, the sky was cloud covered all day, all rise. There's a couple bare patches where you can see blue sky, but it quickly clouds back over, right? I had a rough night last night. I had a hard time going to sleep. Dreamt all night. I got the same person coming in my dream 2 nights in a row. I don't care for it. Alright? But we'll see what's up. Obviously, somebody's thinking about me. You know? I don't consent. Um, woke up at 5:21. And I was like, okay. I looked at the clock and it said 6:21. And I was like, damn. Because I have a digital old radio clock, right? And then my phone said 5:21. Digital said 6:21. I was like, ah, dang, the friggin' time change, right? They did it again. So, yeah, I've been up since 5:21, according to the new time. All right, I'm having a rough day. My Ascension symptoms, or the fibromyalgia, is flaring. Lots of pressure on my head and my spine, my tailbone, my foot, my left leg, right? Weird taste in my mouth. All the tarot card readers I've been watching are saying, right on, happy beginnings, fortune, all that crap, right? I'm like, okay, we'll see, right? I'm open to anything positive, right? The Schuman was 54 yesterday. I don't know what it is today. My ears are ringing very loudly. They have been since I rose. All right. Um, I wonder if you've been getting any spiritual attacks. Well, I've been getting spiritual attacks, right? For about a week now. Started about a week ago, right? It comes through family, friends, neighbors, whatever, right? Whatever way they can get to you. Once you start vibrating too high, it makes them uncomfortable. They don't like it, right? And those, excuse me, a lot of congestion too. Those that haven't done their spiritual work, right? Healed their self, forgiven everything, and everybody and themselves, you know, who don't follow the three laws, be good people, tell no lies, cause no harm, right? Are the ones that haven't done their spiritual work. So the energy moves through them and attacks you, right? It uses the people closest to me, my children, right? My friends, stuff like that. My son, the one that blew his thumb off the other day on Halloween, stopped by my house earlier. I was laying down meditating, listening to meditation music anyway. I was just had my eyes closed and I was watching the colors, right? And it was green. And then I hear a tap, 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 tap on my door. And I was like, it's not a knock I recognize. Because I'm very aware of my surroundings, right? And people's habits. So I got up and I went downstairs and I looked. I was like, do I want to answer the door? And then I was like, oh, it looks like it's a son of mine. So it was my second son, the one that blew his thumb off. And he came in, he didn't have no alcohol in his hand. So you drinking? He's like, nah, not right now, but I did. And he seemed coherent enough. It wasn't like he was giving visible signs of drinking. So I let him come in and he sat down, showed me his hands, right? Both his hands were all blistered and They got sores all over them on the inside. He must, because I guess he was holding on to it and it blew off the other thumb, right? So his hands are in really rough shape. Um, I talked to him a little bit. He wasn't here for very long, right? Because he wanted to go to the car to get a beer or come in, and I said no. I said, "You want a drink of water?" He was like, "Yeah." So I gave him a drink of water, right? And then he made an excuse and left. I could tell though, because he gave me a hug and kissed me on the forehead, and he was shaking, right? So I was like, "Oh, he's got the shakes. Not a good sign, right?" So I told him, drink only enough to get rid of the shakes, and then drink less every day, right? Only enough to get rid of your shakes. You've got to bring yourself out of this. I told him it's a spiritual war. I raised warriors. Why are you letting them win? Right? I said, almost destroyed you. I think you should calm down and forgive yourself. And he was like, forgive myself. And I was like, yeah. So sit in a room for 5 minutes and close your eyes and just say, I forgive you over and over again. I said, and see what comes to your mind. I said, it'll probably make you cry. But after you're done, you'll feel a lot better. Right? And so he didn't say anything to me. He just used sign language, right? Right? And away he went. So I was like, and the stuff that he talked to me about, right? Before he went there, it was a spiritual attack to get me into my feelings, right? But I made him laugh. I told him, you're depressed. I said, alcohol's not helping. It's a depressant. It makes it worse. You know? If you want to get better, you got to figure a way to get rid of that. And sleep. Eat and sleep. Right? So my other son, my third son, he's having problems too with alcohol, right? And drugs. And it's to get me into my feelings. You know? It is. So it brings to bring my vibration down. Just like how it makes me try to feel lonely sometimes and stuff like that. Right? But I don't consent to any of that. I know who I am and I know where I'm going. I know what I want. And I won't settle for less. Right? So, nice try. But it was close, but close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. And I ain't playing with either. You know? So, yeah. Excuse me. Well, you can tell winter is coming. There's a coolness in the air, right? I've had to turn my heat on, stuff like that. Seen one little bird in the tree in the rise. I don't know what it was. Almost sounded like a kookaburra. Its call, right? The way it sang. I'm not sure if the bird I saw was the one that made that noise. But I asked it to come back. I said, you have a message. I got to see what you are before I know what the message is. And I still didn't see it good enough to name it. But yeah. Oh, my ears are ringing so loud. So much pressure, man. So much pressure, right? Something's going on. It really is. All I want to do is lay down. But that's hard too because my shoulders and my neck are so tight. It's probably what's causing this, right? It's just super tight in here and in there. See how tight it is? That's a muscle, right? So I'm just gonna lay down, sit up all day, right? Until it eases. It usually eases before dinner time or after dinner, right? I don't know why the energy changes like that, but it does. So yeah, I've been watching YouTube. Nothing really impresses me, but that's what happens when you become awakened, right? It is. I've been seeing repeating numbers all weekend. So I know I'm in alignment. I'm on the right course, you know. strange, isn't it? I was just thinking about the spiritual attacks. You know, my other son comes home tonight from his girlfriend's. I wonder how he'll be. It's been pretty good though, me and him. He's the one that got the job, right? He's done a lot of work on himself in the last couple of years. I'm impressed, right? Considering who he was before. Unless he's hiding secrets from me. It does that I haven't been able to find out about yet, right? We just like to be quiet with each other, you know? He sits in his room, does his thing, his computer, whatever, his games, TV, right? We talk once in a while if there's something to talk about. Other than that, it's a really quiet home, and I don't mind at all, right? No, I don't. See that people are out and about today, but I bet you it's because of the anxious energy that they're feeling, right? They don't know what the hell's going on. Their psyches are busted because they haven't done their spiritual work. You know, they're still believing in the Bible and in the news. Entertainment purposes only, folks. That's all that shit's for. To distract you, right? You ever heard of sundown towns? In America, here in the States. I'm in Canada, though, right? Or what they call Canada. It's all America, right? Down in the States. In the 1930s, they had a thing where they had sundown towns. If you were a melanated person, they had signage up as say all over the place. It would say if you're like the N word, right? I don't want to say it just in case I get a strike, right? Don't be found, don't be caught in this town after sundown. You know, the government, or what do you want to say? The colonizers, the pilgrims, the immigrants, right? That came over, stole a bunch of aircraft from the melanated cities and towns, ammunition depot, all that, ammunition depots and stuff. I went around and bombed all these towns and cities to unalive the melanated people that were already there, right? So that they could take their place and say that that town was theirs. They made it. They founded it, right? They massacred a lot of the people, the original people that were from here. I know maybe it's hard for people to resonate with me on that level because my skin's white, pale, right? And I have green eyes. The only thing I got from my ancestors are the cheekbones and the nose a little bit, right? You know what I mean? And the body. I'm tall and trim and fit, right? But I don't have the booty like them. I have a booty, but not like them, right? It's just that my soul feels it. My soul remembers. My great aunts, right, were half and half. And I had a connection with them, right? I'll never forget them. Never forget what they went through and what they looked like. I was only like a young girl when they were around, but I loved them all. I did. And it was my mother's side of the family that raised me, and that's the side that had the melanin in it. My father's family were Germans, hence the last name Ketch. It's in the dictionary, don't you know? It's a fishing vessel, a two-mast fishing vessel. Or so they say. You can't believe anything now, can you? Right? And my fully melanated third grandmother married a Irishman. And then her children, my great-grandma and my grandma, they married German men. Or no, one. My great-grandma married a German, and then my grandma married a Englishman. He was a mean man, let me tell you. That's another interesting factoid. If you look up the most, how's it go again? I can't remember. uh, most dangerous race in America, you'll see that it's pale-faced men, right? They have a high number of being abusive, unalivers. You know what I mean? They're the ones that hold their family hostage the most. Domestic hostages, right? So, no wonder my grandfather was like that. I wonder if he was an incubator baby. I don't know. His ancestor was supposed to be Benedict Arnold. So who knows, right? I don't know. It's hard to say. I didn't learn anything about that side of the family at all. Just my mother's side, my grandma, right? They were lovely people. My grandma was the best. Never hurt me once. Not with her words or her actions or deeds, right? But yeah, just learning about what they did to the ancestors, you know? I know. I don't get accepted in the melanated community or the pale-face community. I'm just different. They don't know what to do with me, right? And that's because I was made so that I would never fit in with anybody. There must be a reason for that, right? I'm not sure what it is, but there's a reason for everything. So yeah. All right, take the spiritual attacks with ease. If you're getting them, know that it's just the dark energy trying to get at you, right? See it for what it is. Just be like, yeah, that was strange. That's what I always say to myself all the time. That was strange, right? Wow, you know, kind of thing. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna say, every day I'm stronger than the day before. Every time I'm more protected against spiritual attacks than the day before. And every day I have more to be more gratitude than the day before. I love you all, to consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye. Bye.